If you're anything like me, the idea of a holiday sitting on a sun lounger looking at a pool for a week isn't very appealing. I travel for human intrigue, for cultural difference, to explore the world around us. I'm interested in what inspires us to travel. Have you ever seen a TV programme or a film and thought, I want to go there? Or read a book or eaten a meal and wanted to go and explore that place and find out what it's all about? What about a museum object in a display case? Objects have connections, associations, personalities, and I think museum objects can be hugely inspirational things. They can serve as catalysts for explorations of the world around us, anything from something simple like buying a book or reading a web page to something more in depth like going on a day trip or even booking flights to go on holiday. When we as visitors allow ourselves to see objects as connected to much more than just the museum display case, our minds are allowed to wander and to be inspired. In my case, looking at ceramics in the Victoria and Albert Museum inspired me to go on a trip to Delft in the Netherlands to see where these objects were made in the last remaining ceramics factory from the 17th century. This is where those ceramics are still made today, right here. Over the years, museum objects and artworks have been a trigger for plenty of trips for me. The corridor of ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs in the Natural History Museum inspired me to retrace the footsteps of fossil hunter Mary Anning on the Jurassic Coast, with limited success. And this lump of ancient copper in the British Museum took me on a journey across disputed borders to an archaeological site in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And I'm still inspired to go on more and more trips, all because of museum objects. But I want to do more than just show off about geeky holidays I've been on. I believe museum objects, artworks and specimens can be sources of real inspiration to visitors, and I think we as museums can be much more inspiring if we want to. With the best will in the world, within the museum community, when it comes to setting our learning outcomes, we spend a lot of time thinking about knowledge and understanding. It's very didactic, if you like, about communicating information to our audience. It's only once we've allowed ourselves to do that serious bit that we then free ourselves up to think about values, attitudes, feelings, creativity, and yes, inspiration. The learning outcomes we come up with tend to be rather conservative, not dynamic. People don't tend to write, visitors will want to join the circus, or visitors will be inspired to trek across the Andes. I claim that if we go further with our visitor outcomes, it can help us as museum professionals think about the potential that our objects and displays might one day inspire. Enlightenment and Victorian collectors brought together objects from around the globe, thereby showing people at home what the world out there was really like. But I don't believe we need to be so introspective anymore. That world is becoming smaller and smaller through increased communication systems and more efficient transport networks, and the possibility to inspire visitors to go and explore that world is becoming even easier for us. I just believe we need to be a little bit braver when it comes to setting our learning outcomes at the start of the exhibition making process. Take a look at any UK high street and you'll see that the age of the physical travel agent is almost over. The age of the museum object as its source of inspiration, and yes, travel, is right here.